Hello everyone, my name is Leander, Richmond, and I am running for trustee, Canton Township. There are a great number of reasons that I have decided to run for trustee, and I plan on sharing them with you in a series of videos. Some of these things are too unimaginable to try and type up and even expect you to read it all, but I'm going to make this attempt here. The first thing that we're going to discuss today is probably just general bad behavior, both by the administration and bad behavior that has been allowed by the administration. Let's start with some of the behaviors of some of the inspectors. October of last year, August of last year, my mother-in-law, who's also a Canton resident, reached out to me, and she said that there were some green dots on her sidewalk, and she did not know what they were. So I told her that I would stop by and take a look at them. I did. I took pictures of them. I called the township office. I apologize, but these gnats are killing me out here. But in any case, I contacted the township office, and I was told that this was the sidewalk replenishment something program. So I was diligent. I looked it up. I read it in the ordinance, and I read the program itself, as well as the federal standard, which for the most part are all identical. I did not see how the two slabs that they marked in front of my mother-in-law's house were in violation. There was one piece that was approximately 3/4 of an inch, maybe, but that could have been sanded down or ground down as far as I could tell. So I reached out to the township office, requested a call from the inspector. It took her quite a while to get back to me. I think it was a month. It wasn't really a problem. But when she did, she and I were in discussion, and she said that she explained what the program was. I said, thank you, yes, I've read the entire standard on it. I understand it, and I get it. I said, but the slabs that you marked did not appear to me to be in violation. Do you have, can I see what measurements you came up with? She said, well, we've been doing this a long time, so we just kind of eyeball it. And I said to her that, or actually I questioned her. I said, did you just admit that you eyeballed an elderly woman on a fixed income into I think it was $800 or $900 payment for a sidewalk? Well, she became irate. I thought that was over the top. You don't get an attitude with me. I'm a citizen. I'm asking you about something, and I'm asking you to verify your work. Maybe that's excessive. I don't know. So through her agitation and anger, she agreed to come out the next day and inspect it, admitting that she doesn't have time to recheck her work. Okay. So the next day, my nephew calls me, who lives with my grandmother, or his grandmother, and he said that she had arrived. Then he called me back 5 minutes later to say that she had marked up the whole sidewalk. So I leave my office and I head there. I tell him to ask her to wait, which she of course did not do. I get there, I look at all of the markings. She had marked all but 2 slabs at the far end of the sidewalk. And then she marked 2 slabs onto my mother-in-law's neighbor's sidewalk. So I stop at the township office and I go up and I demand to have the board and the department heads come out and explain to me how this is not retaliation. Had a gentleman come out, and he calmed me down, and I'll admit I was angry. I was hot. I don't like bullies, and I certainly will not tolerate being bullied. Certainly not by a public official. Okay. So after this, the next day, he agreed to come out and meet the next day. I arrived, I think it was at 1 o'clock, and there was a young man that showed up. I believe his name was Charles. I may be wrong. But he shows up, and I get out of my truck, and he says, hi, are you Leander? Yes, I'm Leander. And let me tell you something. I don't appreciate the way you came into my office yesterday telling my employees, and I had to shut him down. Who the hell do you think you are? Okay? I was a lot less nice than that about it. He didn't get it because he had such a sense of entitlement about his position that he then doubled down and said, and I also don't appreciate you having us come out here. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is one arrogant, cocky bunch of entitled people. We'll leave it at people. Well, about this time, the older gentleman shows up, and I can't remember his name. He was magnificent. So he says, Mr. Richmond, if you would, just explain to me what happened. So I showed it to him, 2 slabs, and then all of the subsequent marked slabs. He took a look at it, and he said, well, I can tell you one thing. This was not handled appropriately. Now, he'd never admitted that there was retaliation, but he doesn't really have to, as far as I'm concerned. In the end, Canton ended up paying for, agreed to pay for all of the slabs except the original 2. Now, that was my offer. They didn't force that. He said, what do you think would be fair? And I said, you know what? You guys pay for everything except the original 2. Now, let's get to part 2 of this mess. So the guys come through that replaced the sidewalk slabs. They replace them. They line up the upper portion of the driveway with the approach to the street. The inspector comes through and fails that, telling them that they have to raise the sidewalk up level. And he was not happy about it because he had to do it at his cost. So they busted up 4 brand new slabs of concrete, of sidewalk, and they leveled them, creating a 2.5 or 3.5 inch lip to the approach. They did this up and down most of the street. Well, I have since discovered that level piece of sidewalk, that level standard that she held them to, that applies to new construction. It does not apply to existing construction. So now you have an inspector that not only retaliates against people, quite honestly, she doesn't even know her job. Okay? And she's forced a lot of people in Canton to spend money that they either probably did not have to spend or should not have spent. And this is the first incident that I want to share with you guys and ladies and let you know that this is not an isolated incident in Canton. It's not. I know about this inspector going onto someone's property illegally and getting herself locked into his gate and then calling the police and having the police force him to open the gate and let her out. I could go on, but I'm going to end this video here, and I will share more of this retaliation in the upcoming video. Vote for Leander for trustee. We're all running as a group to try and replace these people with people that consider the needs of all of Canton's citizens, the needs of businesses, and seriously consider how businesses will interact with the township, how they can contribute to the township, and something other than the money that is stolen from them in this illegal tree fund enforcement. Yes, that one is coming up as well. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day, and remember, vote for Leander Richmond, running for trustee. Thank you.